Today we're going to talk about skeletal and muscular systems. The diagram on the left is a picture of the skeletal system and the different types of bones, what they're called. And then the diagram on the right is of the muscular system, and it shows pictures of what each what each muscle is called. Okay, we've talked about cells, and when you've got a group of cells that are working together, this is going back to the hierarchical organization that we talked about a couple weeks ago. When you've got a group of cells that are working together to perform the same type of function, a tissue is formed. Well, there's 4 different tissues in the human body. One of them consists of the epithelial tissue. It functions as a boundary, and organs have a layer of this. Another type of tissue is the nerve tissue. This functions as a messaging system, and it carries electrical impulses between the brain and parts of the body when changing conditions. This is where the brain sends messages to the other parts of your body, telling them what to do, is through the nerve tissue. The muscle tissue, this functions as a movement, and it relaxes and contracts. Connective tissue is the 4th type. It functions to hold parts of the body together, providing support, protection, strength, padding, and insulation. Examples include tendons and ligaments. And if you've ever, let's say, maybe injured or torn your ACL, especially you sports players, then you've torn and injured a tendon or a ligament. Okay. There's the other different types of tendons and ligaments, but that's just the most popular that people injure. Homeostasis. We'll be talking a lot about homeostasis. Homeostasis is the ability of your body to maintain internal conditions to maintain balance. Examples include to regulate the body temperature. Your body temperature should always be around 98.6. And to regulate the amount of sugar in your blood sugar. An example of this would be sweating keeps the temperature inside your body constant even though the temperature of your surroundings change. Let's say you go out in the wintertime and it's cold outside. Well, you begin to shiver. Well, that shivering is how your body reacts to the coldness around you, and that shivering is trying to heat you up, to warm up your body temperature to what it should be. That would be an example. The skeletal system, this is the framework of bones that supports the body and protects internal organs and anchors all the body's movement. There's different types of bones. There are long bones, short bones, irregular bones, and flat bones. Your long bones would be considered your arms and your legs. And your short bones will be considered your feet and your hands, all the different tiny bones that make up those. Your irregular bones would be considered your spine and vertebrae. And your flat bones would be your ribs and your skull. Bones are made up of living tissue. They are not solid, and they have spaces between them. The spaces allow for blood cells carrying nutrients to travel through the bone. Those spaces are allowing the blood to go through so that way it can carry those nutrients to the different portions, the different parts of your body that requires those nutrients. There's 2 different types of bone that make up bones. There's compact bone, which is the outer layer of the bone that is tough and hard and has strength. Whenever you like touch your arm or whatnot, your arm, your leg, the bone that you're feeling, that's the outside, that is your compact bone. It's that outermost layer, and it's hard. It surrounds the spongy inner layer of the bone, and it's the part of the skeleton. It's the part of the body that you actually call the skeleton. And the picture to the right has compact bone, and the next type of bone that we're getting ready to discuss is the spongy. But the compact bone is this harder looking shell that you see here. that my mouse is outlining. Now, the spongy bone is the one that has, it looks like pores in it, spaces. It is also strong and lightweight, and it makes up most of the short and irregular bones and ends of long bones. So it's in your hands, your feet, your spine, your vertebrae, and at the ends of your arms and legs bones. In bones, there are marrow. The marrow is considered located in the spongy bone tissue, and it produces the red blood cells. The RB cells, which stands for red blood cells, it's abbreviated. The red blood cells travel to the blood vessels that run throughout the bone. The cells bring nutrients to the bone cells and carries away the waste materials that's unneeded. The skeleton is split up into two different portions. You've got the axial skeleton and the appendicular skeleton. With the axial skeleton, this is the central part of the skeleton. It forms the axis, the base of the actual skeleton. It provides support and protection, and it includes the skull, and the medical term for the skull is cranium. It includes the ribs, the spine, and vertebrae. And the appendicular skeleton, these are the bones that are attached to the axial skeleton. These allow movement, and it includes the patella, the scapula, the humerus, the ulna, the radius, the femur, tibia, and fibia. So what it includes, like the knees, your arms, your legs, what is branched off from the axial skeleton. And here's a diagram that's color-coded to show you the difference of the axial and the appendicular skeleton. What you see that's shaded in green are the axial skeletal components, whereas what you see shaded in purple are the appendicular skeleton components, because they are allowed to move. And the portions that are green, that's the axial skeleton. You can see those aren't things that you are that have a whole lot of movement, if any at all. There are 3 different types of joints. The 3 types include immovable, which means that the bones are locked together, such as your skull. They cannot move. And they're slightly movable, where you can flex them just a little bit, just slightly, like your ribs, whenever you turn from side to side. And there's freely movable, which allows the body to move and bend, and without a whole lot of restrictions, such as your arms, your legs. Different joints, of course, in your arms and legs allow you to move more freely. Your muscles provide movement. They keep body temperature stable and maintain your posture. With the muscular system, this is where the muscles of the body, along with the skeletal system, function to produce movement. So the skeletal and the muscular system's job is to provide us with movement, being able to move. When muscles contract, they release heat. There's 3 different types of muscle. There's skeletal muscle, which this is where muscles attach to your skeleton. You've got voluntary muscles, which is movement that you choose to make. It's voluntary. Whenever you think of what a volunteer is, well, it's somebody that has volunteered for something, where nobody's made them do anything. It's just something that they want to do. Well, voluntary muscles are very very similar. It's movement that you are choosing to make. With smooth muscle, this is found inside organs such as stomach and intestines. Involuntary muscles, these smooth muscles are considered involuntary. They work without you knowing it. Some other involuntary muscles would be like your eyelids. You're not constantly thinking blink, blink, blink. You're not telling yourself to blink constantly. Your body's just doing it automatically. Same thing with your intestines and your organs on the inside. You're not telling them to function. They're automatically doing it. And you've got cardiac muscle, which this moves without conscious control. That is considered your heart. These are the resources that I use for this PowerPoint.